What's up, ladies and gents? It's Pete Thorne. Welcome to the studio. My voice is hoarse and I'm tired and I probably look like crap and everything else because I just finished the song that you just heard. I've been out of town and traveling and stuff and on gigs and stuff, but I really wanted to finish a video for this because it's the Core OS 3.0 for Quad Cortex. You can see it says Gojira lead on there. Finally, plugin compatibility, which is something that a lot of you have been asking for. You can now use them within Quad Cortex. All the modules are in there. Everything's available. I just made this little lead sound here where I've got, let's see what I got going here. The Gojira Hot Amp. That's what I used for the lead sound in that song that you just heard. I used the Gojira Cab number 2 as well. I used the Gojira Phaser. And I used the Gojira Delay. And I also used the Gojira Overdrive. So everything you heard in that track was all the plug-in stuff. It was the Plini plugin and the Gojira plugin, and I just mixed and matched modules because you can do that. You can now, use the Plini delay or something with the Gojira amp, whatever you want to do. It's all the modules, all the different, like the overdrive and Gojira and the certain delay and all that stuff. It's all recreated, and it all sounds exactly the same as it does in the awesome sounding plugins. Just going to break down a couple of those sounds from the song at the beginning of the video and solo them outside of the mix. I also want to show you the transpose feature that I just discovered works amazing on bass guitar. I wanted to get a really heavy bass sound and transpose my standard tune bass down to C sharp, so I did that with the transpose plugin. I'm going to show you that in a second. Show you a couple more things. This is by no means a comprehensive video because I just can't. I should say, man, I've been using this thing all the time. Like, I'm out touring with the band Five for Fighting, and this is my little Five for Fighting pedal board. I just had it at a gig about 48 hours ago in Minnesota, and it performed beautifully. And I'm taking it on tour with the band next week. So come out and see us. You'll see me with my Quad Cortex and the band Five for Fighting. Anyways, okay, let's get to more stuff about the plugins here. You're going to hear some of those sounds from the song at the beginning of the video. Here we go. Okay, so I just did a sound using the doubler effect, the new doubler effect. The doubler is great for splitting your sound into stereo, but without like obvious chorusing or something like that. It just makes your sound wide and kind of makes it sound like a double-tracked guitar. So I'm using the Gojira Hot Amp for this. I'm using the number 3 cab, and I'm also using the overdrive unit. I want to show you that really quick, because the overdrive is kind of like a screamer kind of thing, where I've got the gain way down and level way up, and it's boosting into the sound and giving me a tighter sound while boosting. So here's without it. Right, sounds like that. If I turn on the drive, you can hear that it just gives me that aggressive edge, sort of similar to our favorite green pedal from Japan. Now I want to show you what the doubler does. So you just heard the sound in mono with the doubler off. Here's me turning it on. Great big fat wide stereo spread. Really cool for, if you're one guitar player in a band and you want a big stereo sound when you're playing live, or maybe you just want to track a guitar part once. Maybe you're lazy cutting a demo and you're like, I don't want to double track and all that business, but I want that sound. Awesome. I did a little bit of rhythm guitar with the Plini amp, Plini lead amp. This is a clean and a lead. And with the gain on about, just a little above 5, this sounds really great for like I don't know, kind of that dry diesel sort of sound, like Diesel Channel 3. You know, that kind of tone. Just not too bright. It's got a bright switch, but I turned it off. And I wanted it kind of darker because the Gojira amp has sort of more on the bottom and the top. And I felt like this was kind of a great sort of just rectifier meets diesel rhythm tone. That's not, it's kind of dry sounding. I think I cut the mids a bit. Yeah, I got the mids around 4. I thought this contrasted well with the Gojira amp actually for like, you know, when using in the same track to kind of double things and stuff. So anyway, it's cool. So I even used the Transposer, which is like I've been a big fan of for a while in the plugins. Now the Transposer is a polyphonic transposer that will take anything you put into it and do an amazing job of transposing it, you know, within a reasonable range. Like I went a minor third down, for example. So my bass guitar was in standard tuning, and it's kind of sloppy when I tune it down to, you know, C sharp. And I didn't want to play the 5-string on it. I don't really have a great metal 5-string. My 5-string is a P bass, and I feel like I wish I had a more like, you know, like trebly sound for a 5-string bass if I'm going to play metal on it. So instead, I used the center position on my Warwick bass, which is like a J pickup in the bridge and then a P in the sort of middle position. That blend, which gives me a nice cut and high end, but then I used the Transposer to get all the way down to C sharp for the tuning. And check it out. Gnarly tone, right? The sound is the Tangerine Growl preset that I simply put the Transposer in front of, and you can hear, you know, on some of those like kind of like 8th note runs or whatever I'm doing, it tracks perfectly and it's like tight and everything. So it's kind of amazing, especially if you need to get something done quick. And like I said, if you don't have like an instrument that will maybe tune down that low, like, you know, super heavy strings or whatever, or long scale or whatever you need to get down there. For the bass, it just worked like a charm to transpose it. So the new Transposer feature's super awesome. I don't know if it was in an operating system before 3.0 or not. It might have been like updated. I'm just not 100% sure, but I think it's a brand new thing. If it's not, well then, whatever. But if you haven't checked it out, check out the Transposer. The Gojira plugin was the first plugin that I tried from Neural DSP, and I just loved it. I mean, I thought this thing sounds awesome. The interface is so elegant in the plugins, you know what I'm talking about if you use them. And so to now have those great sounds in here, you know, it's just really cool. It integrates with Expression Pedal perfectly, so you can do all those great whammy sounds and all that. You heard me do that in the song. Just really fun stuff. So right on Neural DSP, good job, love you guys. And hey, you can check it out further at the link in the video description below. If you've got one of these things, download 3.0, load it up, and have at it. Thanks for watching. I'm Pete Thorne. Take care.